I wanted to do something different. So, Admiral found this trade up. Well, I kind of guided him to find it, but I thought it was unprofitable. Turns out it's quite profitable. The prices are incorrect because trade up spy is weird and it doesn't work. I guess I'll just show the screenshot. Supposedly, this is what the trade up summary looks like. 125% profitability after Steam tax, but these are cash prices. So if you sell on a cash marketplace, your fees are going to be way lower. So this is going to be closer to what the actual profitability is. So 143%, which is incredibly profitable. I have some Steam balance today. We're going to be trying to get the inputs for this trade up. So that's what we're doing today. Now, I'm not exactly starting from zero. So the goal is we need to get a good float field tested train 2021 classified. We need to get 5 classified fillers in minimal wear, low float, and we need to get 3 classified fillers in factory new reasonably low float. That's the goal for today, and we're gonna try to do it in a profitable way. We're gonna see if profitable trade ups are actually possible, and I'm gonna construct a new trade up summary with the exact prices that I will pay for them. I already have train skins that are low enough floats, I believe. Field tested, yes. We already have this guy, so I'm gonna use that guy, but I'm fairly certain that I can just buy them off the Steam market for market price. So let's see if I actually can. So the FAMAS is the cheapest, and just as I thought, these are market price. So we're gonna pretend I paid this much, $67.31. I'm gonna do this, since I'm doing the whole trade up on Steam, we're only gonna be using Steam prices for both the inputs and the outcomes. These are cash prices, so it's gonna look a little different, but it's still gonna be the same. So train 2021, field tested, paying $67.31, and then my float is this. Okay. So now I need the fillers. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be Dreams and Nightmares fillers. It can be any collection fillers. Let's look for minimal wear first. Those should be cheaper. So these are not good. We're gonna look at the Dual Berettas Melodramas. I mean, look, I'm gonna have to overpay for the fillers at least a little bit. We know that. Question is how much? So 422, there is a filler. I'm a little worried about the factory new ones. I might have to sub in more factory news, and then the profit margin is gonna go down, but you know, that's kind of expected. Oh, that's sold already. I was gonna say that. Oh, there's a pretty cheap 9.4 one. So it looks like it'll cost us $5 for the minimal wear, which is totally fine. You know, you gotta expect to overpay a little bit. So I'm gonna say 4 minimal wear and 5 factory new is gonna be the way to go. And then for factory new, this might be quite expensive. I think I might have to. Like, what if I do these floats? That's not quite low enough. I need a little bit lower, but this is cheap enough where I'm just gonna buy it. Boom. Beautiful. That's the first filler done and dusted. So let's see how much I paid for it. I paid $12.14, and that is a Fracture Collection skin, which is a really good price. Holy. I think that was a good move, even though it's a little bit of a higher float. What do you guys think? Because W or L? I think that XM was a W purchase. We'll keep going down the line. We have Dreams and Nightmares. These are all ass floats. You kind of have to get lucky with the factory new ones. There's 0.04 again for $16. Melodrama, $20 for 0.02. I think that's gonna be worth it. What if I say these are all gonna cost us $20? I just want to see if that's profitable. That's minimal wear, because the floats need to be lower. Okay, that's factory new. So let me just set the prices real quick. So these are selling for $13.90. At least 2 sold for that. The regular factory new Glocks are $250. There's buy orders for $243, so we'll call them $250. Unfortunately, I can't set the Glock separately, but even like this, it's 85% profitable, including Steam fees. Now, I'm not gonna sell the outcome on Steam if it's a good one, so the fees are gonna be lower, so it's gonna be closer to this. So adding an extra $750 on a 4% is an extra contribution of $30, so that's very profitable already. So $20 for these fillers is gonna be perfectly acceptable. So I'm gonna go ahead, where was it? I'm gonna go ahead and buy this for 20.7, the Melodrama. Boom, that's good. We got that one. I think there was another, yeah, 0.03 for 1874. I'm gonna buy that. This is easier than I thought. Really don't want to use a Stymphalian. That's really don't want to do it. It's really the factory new fillers that are difficult. So what if I put this guy in for 30 bucks? And then we have another one like this. Would that be worth it? An extra little 4% for profit. I think that'll be worth it. Okay, we need one more factory new. Wow, this is much faster than I expected. I expected this to take a long ass time. Wait, there's another one. Wait, I'm just gonna put this one in for $30.90. That's a no-brainer. That's a good float as well. That's done. The factory news are done. Yeah, we overpaid, but it's still gonna be profitable. And now we have an 8% chance at the op print stream. W, bro. I haven't bought any minimal wares yet, did I? So now we need 4 minimal wares. Oh, we can get away with higher floats. 0.09 even. Hold on a second. What if I get rid of this? Okay, then I need really low floats. Or another option would be to put the dualies back that I paid $20.70 for. $20.70. And get even though it's cheap, it's a higher float one. So if I'll copy it. 12.14 it was. If I just do that, what's the floats that I need? Then I might be able to get away with some higher float. So that definitely is doable if I can find some 8.5 float minimal wares. We'll try to do that. That's a good one for $4.94. That's a MP7 minimal wear for $4.94. Okay, the minimal wares seem to be the more difficult ones this time around. No good floats. We might have to pay a little bit more for the minimal wares, unfortunately. And when I say might, we definitely will have to, but that's okay. The trade up will still be very, very profitable. I think I gotta buy both high key. So an AUG Stymphalian for $4.91, which is painful, but whatever. There we go. So that's that. We're missing 2 more. If I hit the Bloodsport, I'm gonna fucking lose it. Now that I put in the clutch, I already know that I'm gonna hit it. What are the floats that I can get away with? 8.7. Can I get away with 8.7? Yes, I can. I think 8.8 should be fine as well. Yes, 8.8. Okay, we need 2 more skins on their floats of 0.88. I think there were some. That's 0.005 over, and this one, that's 0.008 under. Do I just go with this one? I think I'm just gonna do it. All right, 7.56 for the Tooth Fairy. That is Fracture, 7.56. So I gotta buy this before it goes away. Buy this one for $4.22 if it'll let me. Boom, here we go. So the trade up is now complete. The floats are perfectly low enough. Now I need to set the prices, which I will do. Just so I don't mess up, I'm gonna put this 0.04 XM into a storage unit, just so I won't accidentally use it. And now it's time to determine whether or not the trade up I'm about to do is profitable. So I put in the correct prices, the exact prices to the cent of what I paid for the fillers. And now I need to figure out the value of the outcomes. This M4, 144. It's only actually selling for 140. So I will call it 140. The MP7, while it doesn't really matter because it's so cheap, I will call it 1160. The Desert Eagle is selling for 113. The AK-47 is selling for 50.5, let's call it. The M4, I already price checked. The Glocks, I already price checked. Apart from the Emerald, can I set the price of the Emerald, please? I cannot. Okay, so I can't set the price of the Emerald, but I'll try to figure out the math to do that. The AK is 137. So like on paper, I think this trade up is gonna look break even, but that's not counting the Glock Emerald. Then the op print stream, $421, 421, and this is gonna be 32.5. So overall, this trade up is almost exactly break even without any Steam fees. I'm not gonna count Steam fees because whatever I get, I'm just gonna sell on CS float, so the fees are 2.5%, and therefore this is more like 97% ROI. But I set all of the Glocks, including the Emerald, to the base price because for some reason Trade Up Spy won't let me individually edit the price of the Emerald. Now we know the Emerald is $1,000 cash, basically. So factory new Glock Emerald is $970 cash. That is cash. Let's take a look at a regular non-emerald. So we're trying to figure out the Steam price of a Glock Emerald, which is difficult because it might not be very accurately listed on Steam. So the cash price of a regular factory new Glock is 208. So the ratio is 969 divided by 208. So it costs 4.66 regular Glocks in cash to buy one emerald. So if we look at the regular price of a Glock Gamma Doppler, which is $250, we multiply that by 4.66, then the Glock Emerald in cash is worth around $1,165. So if I could, I would set this to $1,165, but it won't let me. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to price the average Glock. The Emerald is $1,165. Then we have 250, 250, 250, 250, 4 phases. So 250 times 4. We divide that by 5, which is going to give us the average price for an Emerald, which is 400, or sorry, not an average price for an Emerald. The average price for a Glock Gamma Doppler is $433. Remember, profitability was almost exactly break even. Watch what happens when I put this in. Boom, 120% profitable. This figure is now correct, although these individual profit figures aren't correct. But still, if I hit any Glock, that's going to be profit. Emerald is going to be mega profit. The M4 Coalition is going to be even more profit. A factory new Coalition is nowadays worth more than a factory new Emerald. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. This is going to be a 25% train collection trade up. So in total, it's going to be 8% for the big hits. Then it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what is that, like 21% or so for the medium hits, and the rest, which is 67%, is going to be the miss. But I want to say it took us about an hour to get here, which is honestly not too bad. We have a 1 in 3 chance to profit, which is pretty freaking fire. And before fees, we make an average of $38 per trade up. So if you spam this, if you can get one of these trade ups per hour, you're making about $30 per hour accounting for fees. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good hourly salary if you ask me. And of course, we want to hit the Glock Emerald. Now, the idea for this came from the big pump. The big pump, of course, train skins were pumped like crazy. I did 4 related trade ups. They weren't the exact same. These 4 trade ups that I did were 2 8 splits. So that means I had 2 field tested train skins. The fillers were all minimal wear. So for the outcomes for those trade ups that I did previously, the Glocks were still factory new, but the M4 was minimal wear. It was still profit. It's worth a little bit more than a regular Glock Gamma Doppler phase, but it's not $1,000. It's more like 350. So I did 4 of them, and I hit 3 train collections, 3 profits out of 4, which is pretty crazy. The whole profitability percent for this trade up was 43%. Today we're doing a more high risk, high reward version of that. We go 1, 2, 3. The Moss Meltdown in slot number 4 from the 2021 train collection, what we really want to hit. And then the rest of the fillers go in. Oh my god, we've worked the last hour for this trade up. We have a chance to get a $1,400 skin, the M4 Coalition in factory new. I double checked the floats. I double checked the profitability. Everything is perfect. Gaben, please bless me with an M4 Coalition. I've never ever hit a factory new Coalition in my life. Or second best outcome, still absolutely incredible, very close, the Glock Emerald, also a beautiful outcome. If we can't hit that, I'd love to hit an op print stream in factory new, and if we can't hit that, I'll still be happy with any other phase of Glock Gamma Doppler. Anything else though, we do not talk about. Ladies and gentlemen, let's do this trade up. 1 in 3 to make profit in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. M4 Coalition, Glock Emerald, op print stream, Glock Gamma Doppler, please. Oh my fucking god. Oh my god, it's the Starlight Protector. It's always the Starlight Protector. It's always the Starlight Protector. Oh. Okay, maybe we stop on the trade-ups. Fuck! Where's my Tussell storage unit? Here it is. Is that not good? No, dog, that's not good. And I called you dog because your name is dog. It's not your fault though, don't worry. It's not your fault with the slots. Slots don't actually matter. It is a loss of $172. Why? That's if I held an EG Hollow from yesterday to today. I would have lost the same amount of money. At least you got a red. What the fuck? Of course I got a red. It's a trade up. I'm guaranteed to get a red. Oh lord. Oh lord.